Please read the disclaimer. XRP holders, things are looking good. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get straight into it. So currently XRP is sitting at $1.48, up 2.15% on the day. XRP did finally cross over that $1.50 threshold, but has sold off a little bit with the rest of the crypto market and with the stock market, actually. You can see Bitcoin also went all the way up to 78,000, hit the resistance level, pulled back. Ethereum up to 2,400, also pulled back. Solana up to 90, pulled back. Wow, Rave is already at 21. Holy smokers, it ain't no jokes. Remember when we talked about it around $51, around that area? Wow. S&P 500 also, you can see, pulled back a little bit. There was a lot of excitement because there was a few statements from President Trump, and then there was contradicting things that were coming out. But first, we heard that the Strait was open to all commercial vessels for the remaining period of the ceasefire. The passage will follow the coordinated route already announced by the ports. And then there was a contradiction of statements. Trump said Iran's yes, but then Iran's FAR news agency reports Tehran may still close the strait if the U.S. naval blockade continues, calling it a ceasefire violation. But we're seeing that the vessels are moving through, and of course, oil is dropping like a rock, already down to 83. So as you can see, right, 1 second, here we go. It's at 83. It did drop down to 78, but now it's up a little bit. As oil comes up, markets go down, right? That's what we're seeing. This is coming with President Trump saying that Iran is agreed to suspend its nuclear program indefinitely and will not receive any frozen funds from the US per Bloomberg if they do not do this. Trump says the deal to end the war between the U.S., Israel, and Iran is now mostly complete. Talks over the lasting agreement will probably be held this weekend, and most main points are finalized. Trump denied that the moratorium on Iran's nuclear program would expire after 20 years. Trump has not decided who would lead the U.S. delegations for talks to sign the agreement. And on that, of course, oil prices are coming down. And it will be interesting to see, how this plays out over the next 48 hours, because we talked about this today, that total 3, right, broke out. And with this movement, we also got that buy signal on the 1348 EMA. So this is a good signal for the altcoin market. Again, the last time we had this, there was anticipation that we would go to the upside, but because of the Coinbase pullout, we saw the market selling off. Previous times, we also had some movements. You can see after a long period of sell-off here, we had a big movement. This was back in September, October of 2024, and previous times as well, we saw big movements. So the question is, will this be the trigger that sends the crypto markets into the direction that many of us are hoping? Now, I know that when you see things like Rave and you look at XRP and it's been moving sideways, it moved sideways for a few weeks. Now, of course, if you bought the dip here, the low point, you'd be up 16%, which is not too shabby. But of course, not same as Rave. But of course, Rave is a very unique. And don't get FOMO from this, because this is a very unique unicorn. It doesn't happen every single time, similar to the Pepes and the things like that in the past. It ran and went to a big market cap, but for the most part, things don't get to a 5 billion market cap out of nowhere, right? Sometimes it happens, but for the most part, it builds up and not, in 1 week, going up 8,500%. Crazy, right? So we'll potentially see what happens with that. And is that kind of the trigger that sends the markets higher? I remember that when Pepe ran up initially, was it coinciding with the run up of the bear market, right? June, July, and then 24, right? And then Trump won, so it ran up. But previously, it had run up before. This is a Binance graph, so I don't remember exactly. This was the beginning of the year, right? So this was before Trump won the election, and we had the big run up, and this was a precursor to that. Let's say February, March of 2024. What was Bitcoin doing? February, March, January, February. Yeah. So in that space, Bitcoin went from 40,000 all the way up to 72,000. That's when we created the new all-time high before the halving, which kind of got everything out of whack, looking back, right? But thinking about that. And then we had, all the shenanigans along the way. This might have been the first pin to drop that messed up the timeline of the 4-year cycle. So it's interesting to look back a little bit sometimes and remember where we were and what happened. As always, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me any money. Those are scammers, those imposters. Please be very careful out there, okay? So this we talked about. This we talked about too. Well, this is relevant to what we just talked about. Rewind, right? U.S. is considering to unfreeze 20 billion of Iranian assets if they give the enriched uranium stockpile. Now, listen, the economy in Iran is really bad. They don't have money. Their value of their money is decreasing significantly. They need to do something. And so the question is, 20 billion could be a lot for them. And so this is interesting to see if that will be a catalyst that will help them let go of the uranium. JP Morgan says crypto market structure bill is close to completion. Contentious issues have been narrowed down for over a dozen to just 2 to 3. Stablecoin regulation is now reportedly in a good place. The bill must clear the Senate Banking Committee by mid-May to get a floor vote before Memorial Day. Senator Moreno has warned if this doesn't reach the floor, it may get shelved until 2027. So again, the ticking clock, the countdown continues for that, and hopefully will end soon. Now, something interesting that we talked about this week, and I was kind of surprised, but then on the flip side, I wasn't surprised that this was so successful, according to Twitter chief, was his head of product. He says, based on aggregated data from the trading pilot, remember, this is a pilot only in the US, I think in Canada, X has driven an estimate of 1 billion in trading volume globally since Tuesday night, right? And it's only in the US and Canada with these cash tags. So this is huge. Think of the world joins, and there's possibility for the rest of the world also to trade through, right? This again, it won't be on X, but it sends you to the, and only on iOS, by the way. So it's only in US and Canada and only on iOS. And of course, this is stocks and crypto, but still, huge numbers, and this could be a precursor for what we're about to see, in the next coming years, with everything app kind of being on X. Remember, he wants it also to be money transfers, which is also the pilot is already undergoing. William Shatner is updated on that. It's looking good. And of course, social media, news. What else? Listen, with Claude, they can probably turn it into an everything app in the end, right? Or Grok, right? Grok is going to do the coding. But it will be very interesting to see, what happens, because right now they're putting a lot of effort into it. And does this, catch on in the US, similar to how, for example, WeChat is in China? So this is going to be very interesting going forward. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Would you use it? Were you going to use the cash tags? It looks like people are using already 1 billion in trading volume. So this is a very nice number. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.